I'm Dion, and I'd like to talk to you about fin design. This is version 5 or 6 or something of the fins I've put on my website. I'll probably move them over to Zortig soon. At the moment they're still at dionpatelis.com. We're looking at using properly foiled surfboard fins to increase the level of performance. This fin is made with a foil that's got if you have a look this way, a bit hard to see because it's black. It's made with a proper foil in terms of it has a rounded leading edge, it has a thickness that's thought about relative to the cord length. So with all these fins, I'm not saying any specific fin is better. Of course, it's surfing where it's not about straight line speed or exactly ability to turn. It depends on the wave, on the day, depending on how you're feeling. What we are doing though is we're being very specific aerodynamically, hydrodynamically. For instance, this foil, the thickness here is 20% of the cord length all the way down. It's actually, these first alto fins are consistent, so the foil here is almost exactly the same as the foil at the tip. It's almost exactly the same as the foil at the end, and you know from the dimensions that the thickness is, what did I make the thickness? 16%. It's 16% of this cord length thick. So if it's 100, if the cord length here was 100, thickness here is 16. The thick point of 16 is 20% back. So if it's 100 long, it'd be 20 back. The leading edge diameter, the LED, which I've scrawled on here in black texture, is, in this case, it's 6%. So if that's 100 long cord, it'd be 6mm radius leading edge. All these factors aren't right or wrong. They're just dimensions that you can measure your foil shapes with, so you've got something to compare it to when you grab the next foil. So none of these fins or these designs will specifically or non-specifically work for any given person at any time. And what works for me won't work for you, especially because of mass, unless you're the same body size as I am. But it's also about the waves you ride and the boards you ride. What we're doing is logging and getting knowledge of what we're actually riding. Your conventional surfboard fin doesn't give you any details as to cord length, thickness, how far the thick point is back from the leading edge, how round or sharp the leading edge is, and then what the specifications are of that all the way down to the tip, let alone tip flex, fin flex or fin twist, and further from that is recoil time, and then the shape of the curve, whether it's constant or exponential. I'll try and put as many dimensions as I can with each fin design, but to start with, you're miles ahead if you just start recording these dimensions based on the length of the cord. Everything else is a percentage based on the length of the cord and at different points down the fin, because if you just measure at the bottom, most fins are not like the conventional fin. The conventional surfboard fin profile, this is the profile from the side on, generally, maybe not, it'll be the same with this one. The thickness of the foil to the cord length, usually around this section of the fin here, is way different to that of down there. So this section here on most fins is made, the thickness stays the same, but the length, the cord length, i.e. the length from the tip to the trailing edge, extends. So your thickness ratio, say it's 16% here, I mean I'm most surfers 16% is ridiculous, but because these run at about 6%. Yeah, the, the the fin, the proportions get thinner at this point here, and then they get thicker again as they get towards the tip. And what this does is well, there's lots of things it does, but the it creates inconsistencies in the pressure all the way down the fin. So it as if it's slightly lower pressure here and slightly higher pressure there, and then lower pressure again, you're going to have the water wanting to move in different ways. Whereas if you've got a consistent proportionate foil all the way down, then your pressure gradient stays similar all the way, unless you intend it to be different. So what I think they've done on the conventional fin is they've swept it back further like this to try and get some area in the tip to create this tip twist instead of tip flex. And the downside is that this area here has ended up becoming flatter, and when it's flatter, there's other things that happen. I'll have to get into that later.